The modern life, your phone, okay, during this training with you where I'm 150% all in, I'm also human, okay? If I get a ping on my phone and I try to set up do not disturb so that doesn't work, I am going to lose focus for just a second, right? And wonder the whole time in the back of my head, there's going to be this silent wonder of who was that? Is it an emergency? Do I need to respond? You know, we're human, okay? But that is constantly wearing us down as a community, okay? It's causing us to have all-time high with autoimmune conditions, all-time high with holding on to toxins and our bodies being completely inflamed and out of balance. So we want to talk today about ways to get rid of that and setting up intentions. Okay, I talked to you about that intentional time, and yes, it's in front of the TV, and yes, we're eating dinner on the couch those nights, but they are so much fun. Okay, so setting up intentions, but some actionable steps that you can take to help reset your cortisol levels, which again is a hormone, and it's completely related to, you know, a spiral spin of hormonal imbalances, weight gain, the lack of sleep. It's so important, okay? And that's why I bring this to you. So set clear intentions for a positive mindset, all right? And what I want you to do, and I'll actually left my blinds open today because as the reminder to, within the first 30 minutes of you waking up, I want you to try and get sunlight on your eyes. Now, we're in that fall season right now where it's dark a lot, right? But what I need you to understand is that your body operates with the sun, the moon, and the stars. God created it so beautiful. All right, your body needs to be on that same circadian rhythm, but no, you can't wake up with the sun and go to bed when the sun goes down right now, okay? Because it's going to go down about 5 o'clock. But the more you see the sun rise and the sun set, the more melatonin your body is going to be triggered to create, and the better sleep you're going to get, and the better your cortisol and your circadian rhythm is going to be for the next day. Okay, so think about you as a product of this earth, a person of this earth, and try to help create those intentional sessions and solutions to getting that sunlight on your eyes in the first 30 minutes. Now, as busy as I can be on a morning when we're having to get up, even I'm going to talk about a Saturday morning. Now, school, those mornings are strictly consistent, but let's talk about a rush morning, okay? A rush morning where either you slept in and you're getting your kids off to school, or you've slept in and you've got to get to church really fast because you're in the nursery at that 8 a.m. service, right? Or you've got to get out the door for the ball tournament. I am telling you that even if it's while I'm brushing my teeth, and that's when I walk over to the blinds and I open the blinds and let sunlight in my house, is so important. It kills bacteria in the air of your home. Okay, I'm gonna give you that one tip. This is not about the toxins in your home, but open the blinds, let the sun come in, let that sunlight on your eyes. If that's all you can do, that is an intentional movement. Okay, so that intention of morning, planning your day, jotting it down. You can do that the night before if you're one that it's hard to fall asleep because you are laying there with things on your mind. All right, jot things down, have your day planned out. All right, have a gratitude journal, meditate, wake up in the morning and take deep breaths while you're getting dressed, while you're getting ready. All right, just have that intentional focus of getting some oxygen in. I've gotten to where I don't start my morning without going in and I have a mineral cocktail that I make every morning. It's so energizing. I could take or leave that coffee. It is so energizing. Okay, I love it. I love talking about minerals. That's one thing that you'll hear me talk about a lot. Okay, so at night, I talked about perhaps jotting down your next day and planning that. I do recommend pen and paper, and here's why. You need to be limiting the blue light exposure on your eyes prior to going to bed. Okay, the average person spends close to 7 hours staring at electronic devices, and that includes my phone and my computer that I'm talking to you on right now, but every single day. Okay, so think about how much time you're spending in front of a computer. If you're at a job for 8 hours a day and it's on a computer, and then you leave and you're still on your phone all afternoon, and there's all those messages from school and all those payments that are required from the sports and fundraisers, we're on our phone a lot, okay? But it confuses our brain and it confuses that circadian rhythm, okay? So doing that right before you go to bed is actually disturbing your sleep. It's suppressing the ability for your body to release those sleep hormones. Okay, so it's really important to limit that. Studies show 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. I'm going to tell you one. Okay, I'm going to be that realistic voice of reason with you right now. And 1 hour before you go to bed, you need to start creating habits to have your body ready for bed. You can't just run around all night and have this busy flow and be on your phone and triggering your brain with stress and anxiety and then expect to lay down and go to sleep. It's really hard on your body. You can set, most phones now actually have a blue light setting to where you can set a time for your phone to dim and take away that. My phone dims at 8 p.m. And a lot of times I'm like, why is my phone acting like, it'll do that when you're out in the sunlight. Okay, it'll dim naturally if you're laying out in the sun or on the beach. Have you ever noticed how black your screen will get? Not from overheating, but I'm talking from the light. It'll naturally do that. All right, you can set it to do that. I talked about the morning sunlight, and in your guide, if you have already grabbed the guide, that is your habit number 3. I just got kind of carried away at the beginning and gave it to you early. Now, cutting back on caffeine, and you may think, well, that's genius, but I'm always tired. Okay, we want your body to naturally be tired, to naturally regenerate. We want your body to naturally increase cortisol levels instead of caffeine falsely increasing cortisol levels. All right, caffeine will increase your cortisol levels, and what you don't want is you do not want to see those afternoon spikes in cortisol and those afternoon spikes in that energy, because a lot of times that's what's going to cause you to go to bed. And you may say, well, caffeine doesn't make me jittered and it doesn't give me that energy. It may not give it to you because your body is already burnt out, but it is triggering your cortisol. So you may not see what's going on inside, but you're getting those effects by not being able to sleep, not being able to sleep sound, and your hormones are supposed to regenerate while you're asleep. So if you're not sleeping, then you're not regenerating. Okay, you're not recovering. So stick to a limit. Stick to a limit of caffeine in the morning, a cup of coffee, whatever that is. I do highly recommend clean coffee. You can comment coffee if you want me to get you a recommendation for coffee. And I am going to sit here and write down who is commenting, because on the live video, especially on Instagram, it doesn't save that for me. And that's been something that's been hard for me to go back and look at. But what I do want to tell you is coffee is a lot of times highly traced with mold. Mold contents are high, and it is very beneficial for you to get a mold-free coffee. All right, so comment coffee below if you want that. You can also opt for decaf, but decaf goes through an entire chemical process. So again, I'm going to tell you, you need some clean coffee. Okay, but decaf does still have some caffeine. So opting for that is not going caffeine free. And that's what I need to tell you. Sometimes that's just doing better. And then green tea can be good for some of you, but sometimes green tea will trigger a histamine imbalance. So you heard me talk about that earlier with stress. And if stress is increasing your histamine levels, your green tea is increasing histamine levels. There are other things that increase histamine levels, but that is only going to lead to more inflammation. And so I never make a statement that I feel like is going to be good for 100% of you.